In this episode, we bounce on a bridge, ride on some rails, and jiggle a socket.
We have come back down to Yubatake, the cool-looking onsen place, and it looks quite different in daylight. I think the shining time would be at night because of all the lights and stuff. It just makes the ambiance really cool. I was thinking about this last night because I saw a lot of people using this. So this is a pretty major tourist area. There's like a lot of people here around it in the evenings, and a lot of people that don't live around here, tourists and whatever. They've got this thing here, and the purpose of this is so you can take your smartphone and put it here, set the timer, run over there, take a picture, and get the picture taken. I can see some places where if you did this in a tourist area, somebody would steal the phone, right? So, I don't know, this is like a little quirk. Like, is this happening where you guys live, like everybody else, or is just like the Japan stuffs? Especially in tourist areas. I can see it like in a nature area where there's no other people, but like, it's a heavy tourist spot, right? Let's get some breakfast, get some eggs. Eggs. Katie's feeling like she hasn't had enough of those vending machine yakimo.
I managed to eat about half of it. I got midpoint, and some strange flavor started coming out of there, and it's just so squishy. It's... Ugh. I don't want any of these. I can only do one half.
You gotta get two to get a whole one. Makes sense, you gotta buy another one.
That's the stupidest math anybody's ever heard. Guidebook showed a little onsen tamago. Well, I thought that it was going to be bigger. It has turned out to be quite small. When you come to onsen towns, they do a lot of onsen things that were cooked with the steam from the onsen, from the hot spring. And that's very cool. This egg has been cooked in some sort of way. I don't know how fully it's been cooked by the steam. So it comes with an egg. Oh my god, this is the smallest spoon I've ever seen. I thought it was foldable, but it is just incredibly small. And then, I'm not sure exactly, it just says onsen tamago no dashi. So, it's just a sauce to put on. Gonna head in, see what's in here.
It's like a pigeon egg.
That pigeon had a hard time, man. I don't think I'm going to be able to crack this against there, so... It's hard to... So that's the consistency. It's definitely been cooked a little bit. Plop it on in. I'm gonna put this down a little bit farther because people sit on this part.
That also you don't want that to blow into the house, you.
What? It's fine. All right, now I need my other particles. I'm gonna go ahead with the dashi. It is definitely a lot more soupy. Everything's moving around. I thought the yolk was gonna be really runny, but it feels like it's quite cooked. That's a creamy yolk. Wow.
The pigeon did good.
Yeah.
The dashi, I assume, is kind of acting as a salt in this case.
Mm-hmm. Salty and tangy. It's good, but definitely smaller than I expected. So, probably still gonna want more after this. I was just walking down the street, I heard this hissing noise, so I obviously go towards the hissing noise. There's like a metal box, and the box has all of this steam coming out of it, and I'm wondering, like, what are they cooking in there? Turns out that it's manju, which is like a breading on the outside that has been steamed and it puffs up, and then on the inside they have like a bean paste. So they're using the onsen steam to make this amazing little bun. Well, I don't know if it's amazing yet. The man says it's really good. Oh my god, it's warm. You rarely have a manju that's warm.
It's earth warm. It's good.
そうです。美味しいです。 green tea. It's not as oishi, but I think it's supposed to juxtapose what you just ate. I'm a little weirded out because now I don't know if I'm in some sort of manju agreement. I don't know why, but I am a little bit addicted to getting these senbei whenever I see them. They tend to be a little crunchier and hard than I want them to be, but every time I see them, I'm always like, wow, I should probably get one of those. So they've suckered me in because this one shows a city that we're in. It said that it's mochi, so I'm hoping that it's not going to be as hard as normal, but I'm probably about to be wrong about that. It has like little air pockets built in, whereas other ones don't have such a thing. I think the flavor that they're going for is the nori. Inside, I think, is shoyu. Like what the actual senbei has been like wiped with is soy sauce.
I'm just right here, guys. Am I gonna be okay with this?
No.
Can I have just this little bit here? I just want to see the texture. Yeah.
It's airy.
It's airy. Yeah, it's a little bit different. Oh, it's all right. I agree with you. These things are kind of addictive. I really like the ones with
Every
sugar.
time I see them, I'm like, wow, I should probably get one of those.
In fact, I got one too. We scooted out of Kusatsu Onsen down a pretty magnificent mountain hill. Really nice wines, really nice curves, really nice shade. It was a beautiful drive, and we've landed at an abandoned, not quite the right word because you got to pay to get in. There's like a little museum, but a no longer functioning train station, and it's called Olshi. It's very unique because in this area they were mining iron ore, and this was a loading station for all of the metal. Behind me you can see what looks now to be like an aqueduct system of concrete arches, but what that used to be was the foundation of a building that sat up on top of it that they would load the iron ore into, and then trains would pull into it underneath and they would drop all of the iron ore down into train cars. In addition to that, this was also a passenger rail system. And this is the platform that was here back in the day, and this is where passenger trains would come through and load up on passengers. This all operated from 1945 until 1970 when they stopped doing the iron ore production in this area, and it just killed the economics of being able to even move passengers along this quite rural part of Gunma. I don't think I've ever been to a train line that you could access and see this type of structure, even if it's only the bones that are left. But it's a pretty neat little area to check out, kind of an unexpected little find. I also noticed that some of the train cars feel kind of small. I'm not good at gauging the gauge of a track or whatever, but it just does feel like maybe a little narrower gauge than normal. The train cars for moving things are quite small comparatively to what we slept in a couple days ago. While we were in the little visitor center of this disused train station, Katie bought me and Scooty a present. I know what's in here, but I don't know what it looks like. How do you open this? It's just like this. Is it good? I haven't seen it yet. Oh wow, cool. Old Oishi Station. Olshi, not Oishi. Not Oishi. All right, and the reason this is for Scooty as well is because we are putting stickers on the inside of the Scooty top box. So I've got to kind of find the right place where it would fit. We're kind of running out of room for big uns. Maybe over here by the sheep could work. Or up here behind the cables. We got it. It's a good spot. Always remember this old train station.
I wanted to do something fun with Eric, and I could have booked it online, but kinda got sidetracked, then got sick and didn't book it online. We came down to a little community center that does activities for people who want to rent bikes and such, but they've got a special thing that we're going to be doing with a group of people today, and we just lucked out like in the next 10 minutes, yes, you can go. So wow, we are zooming straight to this activity. but it's 1:05 that we'll be starting the activity, and we have not eaten, and it's going to take us at least an hour to do this activity. We are stupid.
We also have helmets on, but they're not the normal helmets we wear.
True. So now you can see what we're doing. They're bikes on a railroad line. It's more fun than I thought it was going to be. The moment that you come onto the rails, it almost turns into a smooth glide that you don't expect. But every time you hit one of those little clinks in the metalwork, it's kind of jarring. We're in a group of people. We're not supposed to be so close to the other people in the line, but we're real close to the other people in the line. Erica said he wants more kyde cam stuff, so here we go. So I'm wondering if I'm just a cheapskate or what. The activity we just did on the bikes, that takes 3,000 yen just to go one way. So we paid the 3,000 yen to go one way. If you want to come back, they will discount it, but then it becomes 5,000 yen. And I just think to myself, rather than that, I'll do the 35-minute walk back to where we started and have a different adventure than just going back by the same rails that we just went. Like, I saw that on the way here, so maybe not worry about that and save some money. Is that just cheapskating it? I don't know. What do you think?
I think the walk is going to be okay because it goes down. I think we're lucky that it's going to be okay. It goes like along a gorge that's being fed by the river that's coming out of this big dam and stuff.
I hope that it is. We're going to find out.
And did you say it was 3 kilometers?
Yeah, it's around 3 kilometers.
That's the distance we rode, and obviously that's what we'll have to walk back, so about 3 kilometers. That was really fun.
Yeah.
It was really cool. The one thing about it that like kind of tripped me out a bit, when you start to, like, it's pretty flat, but every once in a while it's angled a little bit like this. When you're on a bicycle, you counterbalance that because like the bike is tipping, you tip kind of the other way or whatever, but you can't. You're locked in place because it's like bolted to this big mechanism. So you just kind of got to lean at a weird angle on the bicycle and be like, I'm okay with this. This isn't going to be the end of the world, which is, I don't know, you get used to it or whatever, but that was the only scary part. Everything else was real fun. It might have been a little slow. Kind of wanted to like kick it up in gear a little bit, but you're dictated by the dudes in the front who are riding 50cc scooters that are like locked together like a couple of like, not Pegasuses, what are those, you know what I'm saying? The Roman
chariot.
Chariots. Yeah, they got a couple of
Not
chariots.
a Pegasus. They weren't riding a Pegasus.
And then when we got back to the end, we got to watch them. It's like, Katie, when we got off, she was like, you have to turn these things around somehow. They have a really simple way of doing it. They've got this bar they pull down that just puts a nub down onto a metal plate that they've got, and then they just spin it around. One dude can do it. The whole thing is designed really cool, really fun, really cool. Really cool way to use a train line that's just dead now and isn't being used for anything else. Good find.
And they brought us to a big dam.
It's a goddamn?
Probably a goddamn.
Apparently we can come into this dam, which, by the way, where the water is blasting out, looks freaking amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty stunning.
The
How
color.
much power? Hold on, what is this? You can climb the dam. I saw the stairs outside.
All right,
It's ridiculous.
I'll take the elevator. I'll see you at the top.
I'm not doing it right now.
You got the hat. You're ready to go.
Wow. I threw off the whole thing. I'm sorry. I wanted to know how many stairs. I figured they were going to tell you.
It's 116 meters.
Up.
So like I was saying, the water is a crazy color of blue, and watching the amount of power that's just blasting out of it, it's a stunning thing to walk up and just come across. It's taking electricity too, which is amazing. Infrastructure is great. I gotta catch a ride. Turns out it's actually 586 meters up the dam. It's just quite a lot further than what we said when we were rushing to catch the ride earlier.
So we came to the dam. Then we were able to enter the dam. Then we were able to elevate in the dam. And then we got to the top. And it was beautiful. And I turned around and it looked like there was a restaurant. Couldn't believe it. We walked over here. All they serve is ramen. But they also serve what they call manju, which is, we ate a manju this morning and it had a core that was beans. So when I think manju, I always think like an outer sweet, steamy bun, inside beans. So I asked the lady, what's inside? And she said, there's nothing inside. And that's exactly what I wanted to hear for like a Lunchable type manju. So that's what I got. It's covered in kind of a shoyu, soy sauce, miso paste. And it's good. I already ate one. Yeah, I jumped the gun. Tangy.
They got 3 kinds of ramen. They've got tonkotsu, they've got shoyu, and they've got shio, which is salt, this is the standard 3 types of ramen. I'm really into salt ramen. It's like my favorite kind of ramen. And I ordered it. It's very basic looking in a way that to me is a good thing for shio. Got some pieces of chicken, some pieces of pork, some noodles, and some broth. That's it. And I added pepper. Okay, that's a lot going on. It's good. It's basic. That's what I want. I'm especially happy because I get to work this off on the way back. And I was worried that we were not going to eat until like 6 o'clock. So the fact that we have anything is making this a perfect day. I just tried some of Katie's manju. I've never had a manju, anything like that. She told us it was just made of komuriko, which is this wheat. It's like a bun, like a dinner bun, like a dinner roll that they have like yaki'd and added that sauce to, and then you just eat it. Like it feels kind of like really cheap, but it's interesting because I've never seen this before. Like that's not how this usually is done. And when you asked what was in it, and she said it was made of komuriko, the way she said it was like she knew it was kind of odd. Like this is not a normal thing, so just be aware this is what it is. But yeah, that was unique, which is interesting because my ramen is really standard. There's nothing unique about it at all. It's just ramen. But
it's a big bucket of boring over there.
I like it, man. I like salty ramen. It's good. Reminds me of my childhood eating them top ramen noodle packets.
Top ramen is better.
The fuck?
So apparently this dam has little cards that you can get, and there's just a machine sitting right here inconspicuously at the end, like by the door to where like the welcoming area is to the dam. And you can just come up and say, yeah, I'd like a dam card. Wow.
Can I ask you a question?
Huh.
What's going on with this hat?
Looking good, I guess.
Can you see forward?
Yeah.
You kind of look like one of those dogs that's always got the hair in his eyes, and you're like, does he even know what's going on?
I definitely know what's going on. Little bounces.
So you lost a phone once doing that. I wouldn't bounce too much on this bridge.
I must always bounce. All phones beware. Oh, we're going? I see. Impromptu. We have found like a hiking trail that goes from one bridge to another bridge. I did some bridge bouncing because you should always do that, because if the bridge was going to break with you on it, I mean, you might as well have been having fun while you were doing it. And now we're just kind of wandering through the woods. Hopefully this goes to the same place we were trying to go. I didn't look into that. I just walked down the stairs.
All right, so we got a sign over here
Rocks?
in Falling Dongo.
Snowman with a stick in its butt. I don't know. Huh. Just wanted to show, since we're walking along the same line as the tracks for the bike rail experience, just up there in that tunnel, we came through at that height. So we always kind of had an overview of this area, but we certainly didn't get to see the gorge. We couldn't even hear the gorge over our own rattling. So I'm shocked that this is here. And it's been keeping us really, really cool while we've been walking a little bit in the sun now. Whoop.
This little tunnel that Katie just talked about, apparently it is the shortest tunnel in Japan. We went through that on bicycles. I had no idea. I went through like a little thing. I was like, oh, it's short. Is it a tunnel, or is it just like a little roof that you're going over? But apparently it's a tunnel.
From the bike adventure, we rode about maybe an hour, 20 minutes out into the middle of nowhere. Where we are is just trees and gorgeousness, and we came here for a special type of temple. What is shown in the temple is something interesting. You don't see it at temples all the time. But when we arrived at the temple, it was down at the bottom of this hill, and there was a very gorgeous opening, a beautiful gate at the beginning with some big guys telling you the shrine is this way. We noticed that coming up to this area, there's a lovely walking path, which we didn't take because we scoot. We went up on the road, took about 3 kilometers of windy roads, and we came to this beautiful complex of greenery and lots of beautiful stuff around that you don't get to see down in the city. But we came to this building that's behind me. I know what's in this building, and I know that I wanted to see it. And I just thought to myself, well, if the door's not locked, then I'll just assume they just close the door. So I already opened it once. It's going off again right now.
Yeah, I think it's a bug.
Okay, so I opened this door already once, and we thought that we heard a big alarm go off that sounds like Eric's saying that he thinks it's a bug now. So I'm going to let you see what's behind here, but we might have to close the door really, really quickly if we get spooked. Here we go. This one doesn't move.
Is that a real animal or an alarm?
I really don't know.
I'm really freaked out here.
And these tengu are big.
I think it's animal.
I perhaps wonder if it's a recording to scare off rats.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Or us.
It did work on us, but we came back. Do you think the rats come back? Eric, say goodnight to the Tengu. Good night. I feel like I got to have a little secret. Not like I was doing something bad, just that there's this little nook in the world, and when you open the door, behind it, there's a giant Tengu. For you.
Realized we didn't really say what a Tengu is. It's like a Japanese folklore character. They are apparently the reincarnated living beings of people who are arrogant, I believe. Like master swords people. And they live in mountainous regions. But as you can see, they have a distinct look, the nose. You'll see these characters in most parts of Japan, but to see a shrine that is dedicated to them in this way isn't something that's super common. I kind of love them. It's pretty common at a shrine complex to have one building connected to another building with a little bridge. It is not common to have a set of stairs that goes under the bridge. Let's have a look at this stair size. It's got 4 steps down, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's some breaks in here. Hello. The number of little things like this in Japan that exist, these wonderful little hidden treasures that are well maintained and absolutely stunning, is just kind of overwhelming. Japan is not a huge place. It's fairly large, but it's not like the United States or Russia or something. It's not like a huge landmass. It's just a concentration of this stuff. Really just shocks me even after having been here for a decade. And like there's we haven't seen, since we turned up the road like an hour ago, we haven't seen another human being. Like there's been nobody. It's like, how is this not got like floods of tourists coming to it? It's amazing. It's this like hidden little treasure in the mountains.
Maybe they know that it's after hours for the Tengu.
Maybe the Tengu are
and
snoozing.
they're trying to sleep.
Did we get on the Tengu's bad side? 'Cause that could be problems. You're gonna wake up in the morning with some Pinocchio business going on.
No.
I caught that trip in 4K.
You know, I think I handled it well. I've been working on that for years upon years, like slipping and not tripping. Does that make sense?
You mean tripping and not slipping?
Either way, I think it's pretty good. But yeah, like being able to catch yourself and just keep rolling without embarrassment. I'm seeing cool stuff. This waterfall's a little interesting. What you feel you're gonna see out of a waterfall, the fall part, is kind of really hard to see. Where it's coming from and how it gets over the edge is interesting. You don't really get to see it hit the water below because boy is that dangerous. They've put out a whole bunch of lines and strings to keep people from falling off. I'm seriously wondering, like, when's the last time somebody fell into this? Like, it just seems totally possible. The falls here are pretty interesting. I've never gotten to see something so close up, like be so close to the edge of where it goes over. And that was very cool. But behind me there are these rock formations, and I don't know if you see the same thing I do, but it's kind of like when clouds go by and you see like, oh, that's a dog or something. I see like a screaming, gargoyle. The face of a screaming gargoyle. From your perspective, there, maybe. That's what I see over there, and I just kind of got lost in what my thoughts.
Dude, I see it. I see what you're pointing.
It's just screaming, and I just stopped. I was like, I can't not look at this.
There's something face-like about a lot of them, actually.
Yeah.
Like there's eyes looking at us here, and yeah, what Katie's talking about is here, kind of like this nose and almost like a warthog's nose I see in like a screaming thing.
And the guidebook didn't even say anything about like what was going on around this situation. It just notes the falls, and it does show like people standing next to it looking real small in comparison, which it does feel quite big, but it doesn't talk about this geological screaming gargoyle at all. This one just looks like the top of a boogeyman, like sunken in eyes with the pointy head, just something creepy and scary. Boogeyman.
You mean the Boogity Man?
There's also the Boogeyman. And the Boogity Man? I don't know if there's a Boogity Man. I think it's a Boogeyman.
It is getting dark, and we aren't totally clear on if the direction we're walking along this gorge is going to allow us to connect back up. So we're hoping that it would just go to a dead end and we have to double back because it's getting dark. And I don't really want to die down here.
Gargoyles can only do stuff at night, right?
So
we should probably get out of
it's
here.
It's not gargoyles you need to be worried about. It's Tengu. You pissed off Tengu.
They're not friends with gargoyles?
Sounds like a gang that would chill.
Yeah. Apparently, they see the same thing I see. That's cool.
Things are getting Blair Witch up in here, y'all. We got a situation on our hands. We are in the woods. The maps are inaccurate that we have. It's getting very dark now. And look at this. Now, you're thinking that's the scary thing, but look at that on his hat. Oh my God.
You get to sleep in here.
There's enough room for a party in this little Genkan.
We've stayed in rooms this size. But we've got even more than that because it comes all the way in here. I seriously thought we'd be staying in something a little bit bigger than that Genkan area. But we've got like a twin-seater area. We do have the vibe area over there. And we already vibed. We did some vibing over there and chilled. Futons, which have already been made, or at least it looks like they've already been made, so that's nice. World's oldest phone. It's got a fucking... Look at this shit. I'm gonna call Nana in the past. I didn't even know which way to do it. I've used one of these in the past. Have you ever used one?
Yeah, in my 80s, man.
Wow. It's got its own pillow because it's an ancient artifact. Yeah, and I assume that when it gets light out, you'll be able to see more stuff. But this is just a straight shot down the road here. So we're definitely going to be closing those windows so that traffic lights won't come in.
We can press hams at cars.
Oh, cool. Sounds good. And I booked this place knowing or thinking that we would have to use the onsen, but Eric opened the door to the bathroom. There's a little shower in there.
I have a question for everybody. 3-pluggers, do you think these are rare or not? Because I don't think I've ever even seen one. And Katie's like, you see them all the time.
I never said that.
But I also wanted to point this out. This is not exactly the Four Seasons we're staying in. It's like, see this guy? He he's only sort of attached. That's safe, right?
We woke up this morning on our last day up here in Gunma with a surprise rainstorm. I checked last night. This wasn't supposed to be happening, but there's a pretty substantial storm coming past us, and it's supposed to clear up in the afternoon. The good news is where we stayed last night, we're walking distance to something to come and check out. So we didn't have to like go driving for hours to get to something interesting. And Scooty's got a place to be, and the lady is holding our bag so they're not out on Scooty getting wet. So all that stuff is, taken care of. The bummer about where we're doing today is it's all outdoor stuff. So it's going to be an umbrella day. And I think also when it rains like this in an area where it's like outdoor activities, a lot of these little mom and pop shops that are in this area probably just don't operate because there's like hardly anybody that's going to come. So I wonder if it's going to hit us a little harder with like things being closed. The good news is the bakery that sells croissant was open. So I wanted a croissant. And I busted up and got me a croissant. And it was a little expensive. It's like 230 yen for a croissant. But hopefully it's delicious. It looks like it's pretty quality. Looks like, that's like what I'm looking for from a croissant. It's good. It tastes like yesterday. No, maybe today's croissant. It's pretty good. So the thing that's interesting about this area is there's like 365 stairs or something. And along these stairs, there's a lot of little shops and kitschy, touristy kind of things. There's a onsen village in this area. And at the very top of the stairs, I'll give you guys 3 seconds to guess what's up there. 3, 2, 1. You're right. It's either a shrine or a temple. Because there's always that at the top of the stairs. So we're going to just kind of like walk around, get all wet, see what's in this area, and then hopefully by this afternoon the storm will have passed us and we'll be scooting home, and that'll be the end of the Gunma series. So we'll see what we find for the rest of the day. Apparently the stone stairs were erected originally in 1576 during the construction and establishment of this little onsen town, which makes this one of the oldest onsen towns in all of Japan. And this says a few things I don't quite follow. Something about the way that like the town was subdivided and stuff, like allowed it to like benefit from like the construction of certain types of hot spring resorts in different areas or whatever. But this is like feudal era Japan basically. So I don't really understand what that means, but they're proud of it, and they're proud that they're an example of these old onsen villages and stuff being one of the first, and they're like all over the place now, so it's something to be proud of. The stairs are pretty neat. The rain is a little slippery, but there's some ashiyu that I'm looking forward to because that's going to be amazing in this weather.
I decided that I was just going to get something weird because I saw it when I passed by a shop, and it's shrimp and mayonnaise in a stick format. I don't know what's holding all of it together. It could be fish cake, it could be something else. But the first thing that I'm gonna do is, I've got the bag, and what they've done is they've put the stick at the top, and I think that's dumb. I'm actually going to remove the stick.
You're re-engineering their
and just push that shit to the top.
300 years of work they've been doing designing all the stuff
Haven't
in this
they
area.
seen the push pop? Everybody has seen the push pop. Wow.
1576, baby. Is it really shrimpy?
It's more tangy than shrimpy.
Am I gonna hate that?
I think you won't like the fish cake texture, but the flavor's buttery and nice. You chose to have a really big bite of that. I'm shocked.
Oh, good.
It's really good. Yeah.
No, it's not bad.
Buttery and nice. They had a cheese one too, but I didn't want to get one that you had to eat, take cow pills with. Yeah, this is all right.
Also, we found an ashiyu, and this is perfect.
Yep, just chilling in the rain, eating some shrimp with some warm feet. Onsens are not all the same. They have different minerals inside of them that cause them to feel different in many different ways. One of those might be that you put your hand in and you have this very soft feeling on the outside, like maybe it's got some sort of like lotiony feel to it. This one does not have that. When I put my feet into this one, I felt these prickles kind of going into my feet, almost like electricity a little bit, and it felt a little bit like when your feet are really cold and you put them into something hot. but the prickles were a little bit more intense than that. So it took a while for my feet to get used to the water, but now it's no problem. And I don't know what's causing that that's inside the water.
Kyde Onsen.
Kyde Onsen.
So I just went on a little side quest. Did something really dumb. I parked Scooty under this area where he had cover. It's raining. And it was in front of these big doors. And they look like they're rusted shut. Apparently they're not rusted shut because the hotel lady just called and was like, you gotta move your Scooty. So she came and she picked me up in a car. It's like 2 minutes away. It's 20 minutes to walk. She came and picked me up in a car. She called. She was like, where are you? I was like, I don't really know. Like, but then I was like, wait, I'm at the Ashiyu. Sitting there with my feet in the tub. So I told her, she's like, okay, I know where you are. So she came and picked me up in a car. Went back, moved Scooty like 3 feet, and then she was like, okay, that's good. And then she brought me back. That was my side quest. Don't park in front of doors, even if you think they're rusted shut.
We found a kitschy little fun thing. This door, behind it's where you put your trash. So all of the local stores will put their trash in here on the designated days, but it's been decorated with a bunch of rubber duckies. We don't really have the trash area like this, but if we did, it would be cute to add duckies.
This is a big piece of art in a little park that's right off the stairs. And it looks like it was made by a younger person. I don't know the exact age, but it says junior. So I'm assuming high school maybe? It's kind of neat though. What they're depicting here is the body temperature you would have getting out of the bath. How many kobans are you up to now?
You're just gonna have to bear with me one moment, sir. I'm gonna chart it in. Found the Ikaho Koban, and if I save it, it'll tell me that is the 74th Koban, making brown. If we could stop riding on these Inaka roads, I might actually get farther. We haven't really mentioned that this is Ikaho, and the main draw to this place are the stairs, which I think was mentioned before, correct? So 365 stairs going up to a temple. We started in the middle today at like 266 or something. We started going down Ashiyu, and now we've come down to the base of it, and we can see all of the stairs going up. Well, can we see all of the stairs? Lots of the stairs you can see going up the hill. And our plan is to go up them and have dinner at the top.
Lunch.
It's lunch. Why does it feel late? We're gonna have lunch up at the top. I got a special meal planned for Eric. But in the meantime, we probably have like a little bit of time to kill around here, but there doesn't really seem to be a whole lot going on. And there doesn't seem to be as much as I thought as was going to be going on the stairs. There's not as many shops as I thought there were going to be. So I really thought there was gonna be a lot of eye candy, and it turns out to just be rain.
To the Ashiyu!
To the Ashiyu!
They've done some interesting stair math because all these stairs that are down here below me, they are not counted in the total to get to the top. So it makes me wonder if historically this little area that I'm in didn't exist, like this down area or whatever. Because if you come down over here, you're gonna see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stairs right there, and a little placard that says, this is the 7th stair. As you can see, Katie found the best bowl in the world. Look at this, we got a Tanuki, and he's got some soup. And this is a hot udon-based soup. And the one that I specifically ordered has got some mushrooms in it, it's got some meat in it, and the other interesting tidbit is it has a very broad noodle. It's a udon-based noodle that they're cooking here, and it is very, very wide. This is not normal stuffs. So I'm mostly excited about the Tanuki, and then second, I'm excited about the mushrooms. I love mushrooms. So let me turn this guy a more appropriate direction, because we need to make eye contact. First, I'm going to try the broad noodle. It is a slippery broad noodle. It's a kind of a, I don't know if I call it a dark broth, but it's got a lot of flavor going on.
And then, vegetables and stuff, other goodness. But again, like I said, this is what I'm here for. This cost an extra 300 yen, by the way. That's really good. It's really full flavored, like earthy. Very good texture. And I'm assuming this is also some mushroom stuffs. I said there was meat, but I think I lied. I don't think there is. I think it's tofu and mushrooms. I think that's all I got, which is fine. Whatever this guy is bringing me is going to be all right. This was easily the best meal we've had on the trip. Not that things have been bad, but this was good. The mushroom was amazing. And I also got to add a black shichimi in. And it makes it have some kick and some has some Tanuki nards. It's like really quite delicious. But part of this that probably nobody else will ever tell you in a review is while you're eating this, like, you know what I mean? Like, you lean over to get the noodles and like get them up. When you're going down like this, like you're eye to eye with this guy and he's looking right up at you. Like over and over and over. I gotta get one of these for home, man.
Eric posts stuff on social media. I'm not on the internet, aside from here. Yeah. But Eric's on the internet a lot more than me. And on the table, they had this special thing that if you follow the Tanuki and you hashtag the Tanuki, I think, you get a free present. And that is of the really, really wide noodles that they sell. So they come this thin, but they expand once you cook them and get really, really wide and slightly impossible to eat. These omiyage are going home, and I can't wait to give them to people because it's a really interesting little story and food experience.
We have made it 365 steps up.
Plus whatever's down at the
whatever's
bottom. Yeah, I just need to know that we're overachieving, obviously. We're very, very good at walking up.
And it's a pretty modest shrine. I expected something explosive, but it's just modest.
Yeah,
It's just a regular looking
modest.
shrine. And it was a nice little walk. And I think you were kind of right. There isn't a ton along the way as far as like touristy stuff, but there's a lot of hotels, some that had been dilapidated. So there were definitely things. There was buildings and stuff along the way, but it
they're
didn't
not all
seem like they
being
were
used.
functioning. And I do think maybe we're at low season, or it's rainy, or it's the middle of the week. And I think some things that are normally open are closed.
I saw something, one of the buildings down there was darts. And I just thought, really, darts?
Yeah, and there were also, that's a little strange, but they also had some places where you can play those shooting games where you use like a cork gun and stuff.
So maybe the darts has something to do with like balloons, and it's more of a carnival thing than the darts that I'm thinking of. But it wasn't open today for the rainy non-weekendness of it all. And yeah, I feel pretty triumphant. I conquered some noodles and got up here. It was only like,
kyde.
it was seriously like only another 100 steps before we got up here.
But now I'm
like,
carrying noodles, so it's like a little harder.
It was a hefty moment.
All in all, Gunma was really fun, and it's completely changed my perspective on what Gunma is. I think that the prefecture, you got to get up in the mountains. Like
Get out of the cities.
Part of it is down in the Kanto plain, basically, but it's got that transition point where you get up into the mountains, and the place is gorgeous, and there's endless roads that you can motorbike on, and it seems like a lot of like little jewels that are hiding up in the hills and stuff.
Yeah, including Tengu.
Yeah, and Katie's not going to be haunted by a Tengu for the rest of her life, which is pretty fun.
Eric, I gave them all my ichi-yen. It was like 30 yen. I put it on. No,
That's offensive.
Other people have been doing it. I just followed the protocol, and I paid him 10 yen for every time I opened the door.
Time will tell. Time will tell. We'll find out if you end up getting haunted.
How are you going to tell it's being haunted by a Tengu and not all the other things that are pissed off at me?
We are at the point of the day where we're going to be just waiting for the little bit of rain to pass, and then we'll be able to hop on Scooty and we're going to go home. So we decided we'd end the video here. And
on a high
note, yeah, 365 plus some more steps up. It's pretty good.
Eric, let's swivel. Swivel with me.
Yeah.
Yabba dabba yabba dabba dabba do now. Yabba dabba yabba dabba dabba do.
What's the name of the onsen town?
Kusatsu.
Fun fact, that tunnel is Japan's smallest tunnel. Wow. Fun fact, that tunnel that we went through is Japan's shortest tunnel.
Wow.
Wow.
Come over a little farther. There we go. Hey, we're back from America. We're in Japan. As you can see, this is the Japan wall.
Yeah, we didn't take the wall with us to America.
And this was the last video from the Gunma series that we filmed in, I think, June or something. This was a while ago. I hope everybody enjoyed this series. I actually really quite enjoyed going back and watching this video. It's been a while, but I really enjoyed that trip. It was really, really fun.
And if you enjoyed watching it, then you should think about maybe heading over to Patreon, where you can get more involved with what we're doing. There's a postcard club. There's cool things that you'll get to find out before other people, like when videos come out early and things like that. I'm selling this hard. And
you get your name in the credits down below.
Yeah.
It's all kinds of fun stuff. But yeah, Patreon is how we keep all this alive. So if you want to help us keep it alive, Patreon is the best way to do it.
And to those that are keeping this on life support, thank you so much. We've enjoyed sharing all of our adventures with you, and I will be sending out postcards to all of you and enjoying that.
You just
very
sent a couple days ago, right?
Yeah, but it seems like that's
It'll come
always
again.
true. It's
Month.
a circle.
Other places that we're hanging out lately, the main one is Twitch. Kind of hang out on Twitch, and I'm doing a new thing where you can for donations on Twitch, I'll send a postcard on stream. It's kind of cool. I got this new system set up with a camera and stuff. It's a cool thing.
Get some fresh prints.
Yeah, you can get fresh prints directly from the printer. And coming up next on our video series, we filmed a bit, not a lot, but we filmed a bit when we were in America, specifically when we were in New York. So I'm going to start kicking out some videos. I'm not sure how many of videos that we filmed in New York City, which
just as a teaser, we go up her skirt.
Yeah, yeah,
I can't believe we didn't say that entire time we were there.
It's true. We went up her skirt in New York. So anyway,
just leave it at that.
Yeah, if you haven't subscribed and stuff, that might be the point in time where you should hit the subscribe button. I don't even know if there's a bell anymore, y'all.
You're supposed to be on top of this, the master of the YouTubes.
All right, see y'all later. Thank you. That was an awkward thank you. Why did I say that?
Thank you. Yeah.
Is it okay? No, it's okay. We're done.